Morning Warriors, it's November 20th, 2020, and these videos are getting very, very serious. Now, I'm all about light, love, and positivity, but you also have to sometimes go in the left hemisphere of the brain and look at facts, figures, numbers, logic, and you have to wake up to the fact that something big is happening right now. And here's what I'm here to share with you, Warriors, is that if you know the game, you can't be played, and if you know the game, you can play the game so you can support your family. A Warrior coach teaches mind, body, immunity, and how to help your family prosper in the worst economic times in the world. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. I'm doing these unedited videos. I'm just throwing them together. I'm sharing with you guys the news so you can connect the dots. So today we're going to talk about something very, very serious. Many people are going to lose their jobs within the next 3 months to 6 months to the year to 10 years. Now, here's the thing, Warriors. If you knew that was coming, what would you do? You got to think, where are we headed? So I'm going to connect the dots for you of what's happening through words, because words matter. And I'm going to share with you some things that you can do to help set your family up. There's so many opportunities. Don't sit back. Don't wait till the unemployment runs out. Don't wait until you get let go. Be proactive. Do not be reactive. It's November right now. I'm telling the Warriors, I'm getting a little sniffle, so I tell the Warriors, I say, be reactive or be proactive. Get your echinacea, get your vitamin C. You always have to be proactive instead of reacting to what happens, right? So if you know something's coming, you're already there. You're already there. If you have the answer, you stay present, you stay focused on what you can do, Warriors. Sometimes you have to go to the left hemisphere of the brain, then you get back in the present moment when you've done your work. All right, so let's jump right into it. I'm going to move through a couple videos, and I'm going to share with you my narrative on what's happening. Okay, so we watched this one before, but we need to continue to watch this because some of you have not heard this. Now, words matter, Warriors, so I'm going to narrate these videos. So we're going to see Jerome Powell, what he says about your future. And then we're going to hear the powers to be saying the Great Reset over and over again. I'm going to share you with the employment benefits. I'm going to share with you how Warren Buffett thinks in regards to investing. That's how I do my investing. All right, so let's start out with Jerome Powell. So I want you to think about it. Are you going to have a job in the future? Even if you are going to have a job, what can you do to set your family up?
That will never recover from the crisis. There are potentially sectors that may never recover from the crisis. We won't be traveling as much, for example. What worries you most about the long-term impact?
I would agree that what this crisis is in the process of doing is it is accelerating a lot of pre-existing technological change. So technological change raises productivity generally, and over long periods of time, those gains tend to be broadly shared. But in the short term, that may or may not be the case. And I along with many others, will leave social media out of it, by the way, in terms of adding to productivity. Not sure I would say that for social media. But for other kinds of technology, I would say it. And in this particular situation, I would worry that the changes, we're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers who, as Andrew just mentioned, it's relatively low-paid public-facing workers in the service sector who are bearing the brunt. This is largely minorities and women, or skewed toward minorities and women, and relatively low paid. So those people are going to struggle to get back to work in their old jobs, or in many cases in new jobs. So, I think you'll see more telework. You'll see probably.
So that's the head of the Fed telling you that. We are moving to a new economy, a digital economy. They're literally telling you this. So if you don't believe me, let's go a little bit further. This is a World Economic Forum. These people are the richest people in the world that control the world. Think of Paris Agreement, the World Economic Forum. These are the most powerful people in the world. Listen to their words.
To shape the system, we have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
Now is the time to think what history would say about this crisis. And now is the time for all of us to define our own role. What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset?
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world.
Reimagine, reinvigorate, redesign. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for you, Warriors? The rich are going to get richer. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You got to struggle, scratch, crawl to make sure that you survive. Well, here's what's about to happen, Warriors. Wake up. Millions are poised to lose their unemployment benefits, an enormous cliff at year's end. So as we're looking at the black swan over here, all this stuff is happening right now. The CARES Act, coronavirus, I can't say the word, relief law created several programs for unemployment workers. They included the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program for self-employed gig workers and other pandemic emergency unemployment compensation that pays 13 weeks of benefits. The measure will expire on December without stimulus extensions from Congress. Millions of jobless Americans are poised to lose their unemployment benefits at the end of the year without actions from Congress. Now, hey, maybe you have a secure job, but do you realize that affects your family members? Do you realize there's a massive, massive domino effect to this? Do you realize that companies are going to be cutting back because they're realizing that productivity, you're working at home, we don't need as many people. We don't need Susie who's taking up space over here. We don't need Bobby who's taking up space over here. We can actually move to technology and remove your jobs. Wake up, Warriors. We have to wake up to this. This is a fact. Without federal aid, state and local governments, 5.3 million workers will likely lose their job by the end of 2021. 5.3 million workers. I've heard 8.8 million workers. This is service workers. This is not the richest people in the world. The richest people in the world made more money during this pandemic than they made in their history. Okay, so now why am I sharing this? Because there is an answer, Warriors. Imagine. This is how I think. I see what's happening. I see the future of technology, the fourth industrial revolution, the new quantum financial system, which we're moving to. You can't stop that freight train. You can go put yourself in a tent in the woods if you want to, but you're still not going to avoid the Wi-Fi. It's going to be in the sky. It's going to be everywhere you go. I'm being intense, Warriors, because you can do something about this right now. Because some of you are just sitting there. You could go drive Uber, earn a couple extra $100 a week, and you could invest. There's things you can do right now to completely change your family's future. There's the biggest shift in generational wealth happening. Listen to what Warren Buffett says. Words matter, Warriors. You can activate right now. If you haven't joined our private Facebook group, click the link down below. If you want to join our Warrior Academy, we're going to help you through this. Click the link down below.
In Omaha, Nebraska this morning with Warren Buffett, the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He's just released his 55th annual shareholder letter to the shareholders over this weekend. And this is actually the 13th year that we are now in Omaha talking to him after that letter. This is a show that we call Ask Warren, so that people can write in their own questions to Mr. Buffett after they've read that shareholders letter. But obviously this morning, given the news, there are a lot of other questions that people have concerning the stock market. Let's jump right into it with Mr. Buffett, who is here with us right now. And Warren, thank you for being here today. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
I want to talk about the letter. Obviously, one of the things that you touch on in the letter is when people should be buying stocks. We're going to dig into a lot of it, but when you're looking at the futures down about 818 points this morning, I think probably the first thing viewers want to hear from you are your thoughts on what's happening with the coronavirus, if this is a reason to panic, and if you are worried about this.
Well, I don't know I have any special thoughts beyond the news on the coronavirus. The very first day I bought stocks was March 12th, 1942. And the stocks were down about 2% that day, as it turned out. Unfortunately, I bought in the morning, so when I came home in the evening, and my dad told me the execution price, it was down 2%. But, if you're buying a business, and that's what stocks are, businesses. In fact, people will be better off if they say, I bought a business today, not a stock today, because that gives you a different perspective on it. And presumably, if you buy a farm, if you buy an apartment house, if you buy a business, you're going to own it for 10 or 20 or 30 years. And the real question is has the 10-year or 20-year outlook for American businesses changed in the last 24 hours or 48 hours? And you'll notice many of the businesses we own, partially own, American Express, we've owned it for 20 years. Coca-Cola, we've owned it for 40 years. Those are businesses. And you don't buy or sell your business based on on today's headlines. And if it gives you a chance to buy something that you like and you can buy it even cheaper, then it's your good luck. Basically.
That was a key word right there. You buy your business based on today's headlines. Let me repeat that. You buy your business, stocks, investments on today's headlines, not what's going on today, what's happening right now. I just broke it down for you. 5.8 million people are going to lose their jobs. The Great Reset, technical advances, the fourth industrial revolution, the new quantum financial system. So, what can you do to activate warriors? You can think differently. So the very man that's talking right now, why did he say that gold was for gold bugs? And then now he's making a massive shift to gold. Your gold prices are going up. I've shared with you multiple times when gold prices are going up. That means there's a lack of confidence in the fiat currency. All fiat currencies, government issued currencies, have gone down to zero in history. We are in the worst economic times in the world, worse than the Great Depression, and most people are asleep. All the government aid is running out at the end of the year, and this is where we're at, warriors. This is where we're at. So I'm going to continue to bring this information to you guys. I hope that this opens up your eyes to a whole new awareness. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. We'll talk to you tomorrow or maybe later on today. Warriors, rise. Let's go.